channel. I managed to wash my hair today, so I'm feeling pretty good. Usually when I do these vlogs, it's kind of at the end of the day, or when I have just like rolled out of bed and had to kind of stick my hair up. So kind of feeling kind of fresh today. So today's vlog is going to be on tantrums. So I look after toddlers. We have a lot of tantrums, especially my daughter, because she's got such a strong, she's a really strong character and she's really strong-willed. So she's very particular about kind of her routine, things that she likes to do and she doesn't like to do. And she's just like a normal toddler, really. She doesn't like to be rushed. She doesn't like to be taken control of. She very much is quite independent, so she doesn't like you to take kind of responsibilities off her. Once she's learned something, like putting her shoes on or a coat on, she wants to do it all the time and she doesn't want any interference. So kind of usual toddler stuff. But yeah, there are times when she gets very emotional and she struggles to kind of control how she's feeling, and therefore the tantrum kind of occurs. So I've been learning on this whole journey since she was tiny on how to deal with these kind of emotional outbursts, how to kind of deal with them in a kind of respectful way. And I'm still learning, but there are things that I think are really useful, things that I've learned that I want to pass on to you to kind of help you in those difficult situations, because they are really difficult. It doesn't matter how kind of zen you are, how kind of chilled you are as a person, something about these moments just manage to kind of affect your emotions. Because naturally you love your child, you don't like to see them upset, even though it's a natural thing, it's totally normal, and it's totally okay for them to get upset, you know, just like we do. It's still not nice to experience. So yes, I want to pass on some kind of tips, I suppose. Not that I'm perfect at it, you know, I have days where I don't deal with situations very well, and I kind of have the mum guilt, and I think, oh, you know, I could have maybe not got so upset about that, or I could have maybe dealt with it in a more kind of grown up way or whatever. But yeah, there are certain things that I try and stick to that can help either prevent those kind of freakouts, or kind of help me deal with them and help her kind of deal with them as well. So the first one that I would recommend for kind of preventing some outbursts is to make them aware of their routine. Give them a heads up as to what kind of things you're going to be doing in the day. I think when children are surprised, and if they don't know kind of what's coming, they can get a little bit upset. Children do like, especially toddlers, like to stick to their routines. They like to be respectfully informed on how the day is going to go, what kind of things you're going to be doing, and then if it's something necessary that they have to do, they're aware of it, they know it's coming. You know, if you've got to do the food shop and they know that, they're not going to be upset when you kind of drag them out, you know, after playing in the playroom to do that. So yeah, I always kind of, in the morning when Mia wakes up, I tell her what we're doing. So I'll say, we're going to have our breakfast, we're going to get dressed, we're going to do the food shop, then we're going to go and have a play in the park, and those kind of things. We're going to come home, have lunch, do naps, whatever. So if there's something new in the day that they're not doing all the time, like the food shop or going to a particular park or going to see grandma or whatever it might be, I always let her know that that's going to be part of our day, so she kind of expects it when it comes around. And then when the time comes to do those things, you can give them a kind of heads up. So you can be like, right, in half an hour we're going to go and see grandma, so you can play for another half an hour, and then we're going to get our shoes on and we'll get ready to go. And then kind of 10 minutes, 5 minutes, right, time to go, pack everything away, let's get our shoes on, you know, and they're not kind of taken by surprise. So the next one is offer choices, so like limited choices. So when we're getting ready in the morning or getting ready to go out, I always offer choices if there's something that I want her to do, because she's very strong-willed. She doesn't like being ordered around or told to do things, and I suppose nobody does. You don't tend to get the best response from children if you tell them, you know, do this, do that. So I try to be respectful of her kind of independence and try and offer choices before we have to do something. So for example, would you like to put your shoes on, or would you like mummy to do it? Would you like these trousers or these ones? Would you like this cereal or this cereal? Would you like to get your own bowl, or would you like mummy to get it for you? So like these kind of choices, would you like to put your own coat on, or would you like mummy to do that for you? Would you like 5 minutes more to play, or are you ready to leave? So it's kind of like not bossing them around. So instead of like, we're leaving now, like get ready to go, we're going, it's kind of giving them a bit of a opportunity to kind of decide what they're going to do. But at the same time, it's not saying, do you want to go or do you not want to go? If there's something that needs doing, like if you need to get to the bank or you need to go and do the food shop, then there's no kind of choice in that matter. They kind of have to go along with you. So it's just about being respectful and giving them choices in how they kind of go about it. I do find that helps. If children don't have enough control in their day, it builds up, I find. So if I'm having one of those days where I'm a bit impatient and I'm not offering the best choices, and I am kind of, and we've got a very busy schedule, and I am kind of bossing her around a little bit and making her do things and not giving her those that independence, and I do find it builds up, and towards the end of the day she gets very frustrated, and that's when those kind of outbursts can happen. So yeah, just offer limited choices in a respectful way, within the boundaries, and I think that should help to kind of keep the emotions under control and allow them to have that bit of control in their day. So the third one, to be respectful, is to let them feel their emotions. I know in the beginning when Mia started having these big outbursts and these big emotions, I was kind of not very experienced in it, and my natural reaction was to kind of stop it, to try and make her feel better and distract her and do all these things to stop her feeling her emotions. And now I realise that probably isn't the best way to deal with it. I know, especially when you're out in public, it's not nice to experience that. But children can't time when they're going to be feeling these big emotions. And I think the best thing we can do is to let them feel them, let them get upset, ride it out, and just be there as a support, and not try to kind of distract or take away from them feeling that way. I think the worst thing that we can do, or the worst things that I've done in the past, is things like say things like, oh, you're okay, oh, that's fine, you feel better now, and just kind of like not respecting her right to feel the emotions. I know if someone did that to me, I'd find that kind of annoying. I'd be like, well, I'm not alright actually, I kind of am upset, and you saying I'm alright isn't going to make it alright. So so I think we have to kind of step back and think, how would I feel if someone said that to me? Because although they're children, they're respectful humans, and we need to think of them as humans and not little children who don't know anything. So also, I mean, when is it ever useful to kind of suppress your emotions? If you're grieving, for example, you might want to cry, and if somebody says, oh, you shouldn't do that, or like, it doesn't help you suppressing emotions. You need to let it out and feel the emotions, and then find a way out of them. So if a child can feel how they're feeling, they can find a kind of better way to manage that as they get older. And don't forget the young as well, the toddlers, they don't have the capacity to kind of snap out of it or think, you know, I'm going to take some deep breaths, I'm going to calm down, this will pass. You know, it's all just so in the moment, crazy, and everything's going on in their heads and they just don't know how to manage that. So the best thing we could do is just let them feel, ride it out, even if it takes 10, 15 minutes, half an hour. It depends how your child is, but I always respect her boundaries. She is the kind of child who will want a cuddle in the middle of it. So she'll kind of come to me and I'll cuddle her and just let her know that I'm there. And whereas other children might not, they might just want a bit of space, maybe to cry in the corner or stomp their feet or whatever they want to do, and then they'll probably come afterwards for a bit of comfort. But yeah, so no telling off, no making them feel bad, just let them ride it out, and you know, don't worry about it. I know it's horrible, it's not nice to see them like that, but just remember it's natural and it's totally cool for them to feel that way. So yeah, that's another kind of thing that I've learned. So hopefully that helps. So the next one is to not take it personally. I'm still learning this. I've always been the kind of person where I've let other people's emotions affect how I feel, and I'm kind of learning not to do that now. We're on it, my husband and I are on a bit of a personal development journey, so I'm learning loads about how to better deal with my emotions, and how to kind of feel better about myself, how to love myself more, self-care, that kind of thing. And to be fair, it has all come from having a child, because they bring out sides of you that you just didn't know were there. And then you realise as well, when you're faced with challenges or challenging situations, that, oh, I don't really have the tools to deal with that. I kind of need to look into how to do that better or feel better about this situation. So that's kind of where we are. Anyway, I've gone off on a tangent and I can't remember where I was. Yeah, so don't take it personally. Don't let their emotions affect yours. I think one of the most important things is to remain a strong, capable and confident adult in those difficult situations. So when their emotions are all over the place, they're going to need you there as a support. You know, they don't want to look at you and see you all over the place as well, because that's really not going to help them feel kind of better and secure in their environment. So take a deep breath and just think to yourself, I don't need to get upset just because you are. It's okay for you to be upset. That's totally cool. I'll be here for you. I'm strong, I'm capable, and I am not going to freak out and get upset and annoyed just because you're annoyed, okay? Even if the situation's totally annoying. Like most recently, Mia's got this thing with food where she keeps asking for lots and lots. So when we're doing cereal in the morning, I'll be pouring cereal, or she'll be pouring cereal, and she'll go for lots and lots, and she wants more and more and more. So much so that the bowl gets overflowed, and then I get annoyed because I've told her it's enough and she hasn't listened. So yeah, that's one of those situations that can really escalate, and you can end up kind of getting annoyed, and she can sense that you're annoyed. You might even raise your voice or whatever. But it's one of those kind of learning opportunities where you just need to take a step back. And if which she has before, if she's freaked out in the moment because I've gone, that's enough, like we're not having any more, you've got enough in your bowl, like stop. Sometimes she can get annoyed because it's not what she wants, you know, kind of she wants things her own way. Totally understandable, because she's still learning. So that when she freaks out in those moments, I could equally get upset too, because she's made a mess, you know, and it's kind of annoying. But yeah, I think the best thing to do is just let her feel the emotion, be totally cool, and be like, I'm going to be here for you. Like, I'm not going to let you get me down. Like, I am strong. This is the kind of things I tell myself in the moment. I can deal with this. I'm a strong mama. All that kind of stuff. And then just let her ride it out and just be there as this emotional, strong emotional person. And and offer that support and secure kind of environment. So if you find that in those moments, in those high emotional tantrum moments, that you find that you get annoyed and you are not as cool as you'd like, you're not as calm and controlled, then it may be, that you might need to spend a bit more time kind of looking after yourself. I find if we are burning the candle at both ends and we're not taking care to have time out, to kind of enjoy the things that we want to do, getting a babysitter and just having time to watch a bit of TV, do some reading, do some exercise, whatever you like to do, go for walks, chat with some friends, because I know it can be quite isolating being a mum as well, especially a childminder, because I'm just with children all the time, and sometimes I go through the day and don't speak to anybody really apart from the children, so it can be really hard. I think self-care is really important. If I'm getting a bit frustrated and I'm finding that my temper's shorter, I'm not giving the best responses, then I try and take a bit of time out for me, do the things that I want to do, and just get my head together, and then I can approach the situation in a better way kind of the next day, and I just feel better for kind of assessing myself. So self-care is really important. And don't forget, Maria Montessori does talk about the prepared adult and prepared parent, that we need to, in order to show up in the most effective and supportive and responsive way, that we do need to take care of ourselves and be prepared, for whatever scenario comes around. Oh, excuse me. Oh gosh. Oh, full of allergies today. Yes, so we need to prepare ourselves. We need to take time out to do the things that we want to do, to be ourselves, to show love to ourselves, and then we can better show up, as a parent for our children. So, good tips. So yeah, I hope that helps. Those are the kind of things that I try to follow each day. So with the routine and the kind of letting her feel the emotions and just being there as a support and looking after myself, all those kind of things can help you better deal with tantrums, because they're super difficult sometimes, and it's never nice to see your child so kind of out of control. But yeah, it's totally normal, totally cool. So I take a lot of inspiration from people like Janet Lansbury, who's helped me a lot in kind of dealing with these difficult moments, because being a parent is super hard, and children are all over the place sometimes, and it's so irrational sometimes, and their requests are so kind of extraordinary, and we're like what is happening? So yeah, you do kind of need to assess and find better tools to deal with them. So those are the kind of things that help me. Hopefully they help you too. Once again, thanks for watching, and don't forget to subscribe.